So I think there's a conversation that we avoid. We avoid the conversation of money. And why do we avoid the conversation of money? Because we're uncomfortable with that conversation. We also don't like to talk about what comes after your freight broker business, what comes after your trucking business, because there will come a time where you don't want to run a freight brokerage anymore. You might not want to drive a truck. So what is next? And are you prepared for what is next? In the trucking industry, we have had a booming period over the last 3 years. That's how it is. There's a boom period and then there's a bust. So I think that we should take advantage of the boom, because when the bust comes, you may not be able to do as well financially. So what have you done during the times where things have been going absolutely wonderful? What have you done during those times? How have you paid yourself during those times? How have you positioned yourself for retirement? We don't want to talk about that either. The reason why we don't want to talk about it is because we are not prepared for retirement. I want to help you prepare for that. I want to help you get ready for what is inevitable. We, for some reason, have it in our minds, and we don't like to talk about retirement. We don't like to talk about money, particularly retirement, because we think that it's so far away. We think that that's a long way away. If you're 40 years old, you look at it and you say, man, retirement is not until 65. I have 25 years before that time comes. That's a long way away. Take it from me. It is not a long way away. It's right around the corner. And if you are just getting started and you're just starting to prepare for that time at 40 years old, then you are behind the power curve. So we want to catch up. We want to get this thing speeded up so that we get ahead of the game and not be behind. How do we do that? We start to look at our life. We start to look at business differently. We're starting to put retirement at the forefront now, and understanding that when we're preparing for retirement, that means that we're taking care of ourselves. We're doing right by us. When we don't do that, we set ourselves up for failure, right? We have to have money conversations right now, so that when that time comes, we are in a much better position than we would be if we had not prepared for it. You see, most people don't even think about retirement. We're only living for the now. But how does that look when you get 50 years old? How does that look when you get 60 years old? Well, I can tell you how it looks. It will look like you are terribly unprepared. It will look very scary. So let's not let that time come upon us and we not be at least somewhat prepared for it. Because it's better to be prepared and have an opportunity than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. We have the opportunity right now to prepare for our retirement. And it doesn't matter whether you're 40 or you're 50 or even if you're 60. You can still go ahead and start socking away money. If you're 70, you can start socking away money. So don't think you are too late to the party. You're only too late if you don't get started. It is 100% your responsibility when you own a business. When you are the boss, then you have to make sure that you are taking care of yourself also. You have to have a 401k plan set up. If you were on a job, that job would give you an opportunity to get a 401k set up, right? So the same thing for your company. You'll have a 401k plan set up for yourself, and you're paying into it every month, making payments into your 401k, because that's making payments to you. That is securing your near future. It's not that far away, so that you can have more of the life that you want when that time comes and be able to enjoy life now, making good decisions with the money that you're making. Because the money we're making right now is not forever. It's for a time period. So you have to get that in your mind and start utilizing funds, utilizing your business, structuring things so that yes, it allows for you to enjoy yourself now, but it's also setting you up for a future that you want. Taking care of your financial future by doing the right things today, right? That is what we need to be focused on when it comes down to our business. Your business is producing, you have to start getting safety nets set up. You have to start getting tax shelters set up because the IRS is relentless. The more money you leave exposed outside of tax shelters, the bigger chunks of money the government comes in and takes from you. So they allow for you to start off and have your own 401k under your company, so take advantage of that. Sock away some money inside of these shelters, leave less of your money exposed so you give less money to the IRS, because the whole idea is for you to keep your money and not give it away to the government. I can guarantee you they are going to take enough. They are going to get their fair share. I've had to pay over $40,000 this year in taxes, and this year meaning the 2021 tax year. I just paid my taxes on April 18th. Of course, we already had paid the quarterly taxes, but we had to finish off the taxes, and we repaid the remainder of those taxes on the 18th of April. So we're talking over $40,000 for a small business. I am not a big business by any stretch of the imagination, and imagine if I have that type of tax bill, what businesses that are bigger than mine, make more money than mine, are spending in taxes. So I think as a good business owner, it just makes good business sense to have tax shelters, because they are going to allow for you to, in essence, save money. You get to save money inside of those tax shelters, because the more money you have exposed, the more money the government gets, the more money you don't get. And it's not in your best interest to give more of your money to the government, right? Wouldn't you say you are a better spender, a better handler of your money? Or do you think the government is a better spender, better handler of your money? I happen to think that I do a better job, so I want to keep more of it. At the end of the day, I'm the one that's working for it, right? So I should be able to enjoy more of my money. How do you do that? The start of that is a 401k. Then we move to IRAs, personal IRAs, and different vehicles such as that. But start off with your own 401k under your company to keep more of your money in-house. As a business owner, I think we should always be looking for opportunities to save on the money that we're spending on taxes. That leads me into the next thing that I want to share with you. I believe that you need to have a relationship, build a relationship with a CPA at some point sooner than later. And the reason for that is because a CPA understands tax law. He knows how to navigate the tax world. You don't know how to do that. That's not your specialty. You are not trained to do that. So you want to hire somebody, have someone on your team that understands that, because it's going to allow for you to save more of your own money. Because when you're saving on taxes, you can now put that money back into your own pocket, put it back into the business so that it is generating, producing for you and not producing for someone else. So a CPA is a decision that I think that needs to be made sooner than later. Start building that relationship. Help that CPA to understand what is it that you want to achieve, so he can help you design a plan, a tax plan that puts you in the best position to achieve your goals. Retirement is where your mind should be geared toward, putting money aside for that time. Yes, enjoying what we have this time, the current time right now, because we don't know what's going to happen, but it's a very good likelihood that you'll be here when you get 65 years old. We're living longer now. So when you get that time comes, are you going to be prepared? And some people aren't waiting to 65 to retire. Some people are retiring at 50 years old, 55 years old, 40 years old, 40, 30. Right? Because they're preparing earlier in life. So retirement is not an age. It's not about you getting to a certain age and you retire. Retirement is based off a number, a financial number that you set and say, this is the amount that I need to live on for the rest of my life without having to go to work. Right? Because there's a period of time that we're going to be able to answer the bell, answer the call, and go to work. But after that time comes, when we no longer want to go to work, we want to be able to live off of our investments. What do you have waiting for you at the end of that tunnel? What have you done for yourself? Ask yourself that question. What have I done for me lately? What am I doing for me and my future? How am I preparing for that? That is so very important, and that's what I wanted to share with you today. I certainly hope this information has been helpful. If you're interested in learning more about the freight broker business, I'll leave a free link in the description. It's my 5-video series, and I titled it, How the Load Movement Process Works. It'll give you an opportunity to come into the office with me and watch me on video as I move loads, talk to shippers and carriers. That way you can get a better understanding of how this business works before you come into it. And then if you're interested in learning how we go about getting our customers, the customers that we work with on a day in and day out basis, I'll leave a free video right here. So until next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.